I never imagined that, at 56, I'd be starting over in a country halfway across the world, much less that I'd lose everything trying to hold on to what I thought was love. My name is Peter, and 2 years ago, I left the US with enough savings to live out the rest of my life quietly. I wasn't rich, but compared to local wages in the Philippines, I suppose I looked like I was. After my divorce, the silence of my small apartment back home became unbearable. I was tired of gray skies, cold winters, and the constant reminder that no one was waiting for me. The Philippines sounded like a fresh start, cheap rent, warm weather, and maybe, if I was lucky, companionship. When I first arrived in Dumaguete, life felt peaceful. My mornings were slow, coffee on the balcony, a walk to the market, a few friendly conversations with locals who called me sir or kuya. For the first time in years, I felt noticed. It was during one of those lazy afternoons that I met Liza, a 24-year-old woman working at a small clothing shop near the plaza. She stood out right away, petite, maybe 5'2", with smooth golden brown skin that caught the sunlight. Her long black hair was tied neatly in a low ponytail, and her dark almond eyes had a quiet warmth that drew you in before you even realized it. She wore simple blouses and faded jeans, but she carried herself with the soft confidence of someone who knew how to charm without trying. She had a soft voice, the kind that made you lean closer just to hear her. She laughed easily, called me Mr. Peter at first, and said she admired how foreigners came here to start new lives. We started talking every time I passed by the shop. Before long, she asked for my number. Liza told me about her family in the province, poor farmers struggling to make ends meet, and how she was the only one supporting them. She said she dreamed of opening her own small store someday, something stable, she'd say, so my parents won't have to worry anymore. I wanted to believe her sincerity. Maybe I needed to. After years of feeling unwanted, her warmth felt like sunlight on cold skin. At first, her requests were simple, small things. A few hundred pesos for groceries. Load for her phone so she could message me. Bus fare to visit her sick mother. It wasn't much. I told myself it was just me being kind. But kindness has a way of turning into habit. Soon, the requests became more frequent. Her mother needed hospital treatment. Her younger brother couldn't afford school. Then came the rent. She said she'd lost her job after missing work to care for her mother. I didn't think twice. Each time she cried, I sent money. Each time she said, "You're my future," I believed her. And every time I transferred money, she'd reward me with affection, long, sweet messages, selfies with captions like, "Miss you, honey," or voice notes saying how she couldn't wait to build a life with me. It was like emotional currency. I gave, and she gave back just enough to keep me hooked. Months turned into 2 years. My savings dwindled faster than I realized. My social security barely covered my rent and food. I told myself it didn't matter, that love was worth the sacrifice. After all, she always promised, "One day, I'll take care of you when we have our own house." But then the tone changed. Her messages became shorter. Then they stopped altogether. At first, I thought she was just busy. She said her phone was broken, that she was busy with family, that the signal was bad. But deep down, something felt different. The warmth in her words, gone. The calls that used to last for hours, replaced by silence. It started right after I told her I couldn't keep sending as much money. I explained my pension was running thin, that I had bills to cover back home. She said she understood, but I could feel the distance growing with every reply. What used to be, "Good morning, my love," became, "Okay." What used to be voice notes became cold, empty text messages. Days turned into weeks without hearing from her. I tried to ignore the sinking feeling in my gut, until one afternoon, an expat friend pulled me aside at a cafe. He hesitated before speaking. "Pete," he said carefully, "I saw Liza the other day, with another guy. Local kid, maybe late 20s. They looked close." I laughed it off at first. Told myself he must have been mistaken and continued talking about other things. But that night, I couldn't shake the unease. I scrolled through social media, hands trembling, until I found her profile. And there it was, photos of her, smiling in a restaurant I'd taken her to, her hand resting on someone else's. For a long while, I just stared at the screen. The sounds around me faded, it felt like the world stopped. My chest tightened. My throat burned. I replayed every conversation, every "I love you," every promise. It was all a lie. I wasn't angry yet, just broken. Betrayed. Lost. The kind of pain that makes you question your own judgment, your own worth. When I finally confronted her, her tone was cold, almost bored. "You can't give me what I need anymore," she said. "I need someone who can support me." And just like that, she blocked me. No explanation. No apology. Just silence. I stared at the empty message screen for hours that night, realizing how completely I'd been played. When I finally checked my records, the total made me sick. Nearly every dollar I'd saved had gone to her. Money meant for a quiet retirement, gone. But what cut deeper than the financial loss was the emotional wreckage. I'd convinced myself she loved me. I'd told myself I was helping her build a better life. In truth, she was just building one without me. In the weeks that followed, I barely left my apartment. I was too ashamed to tell my family back home. My ex-wife would have called it karma, my kids wouldn't have understood. How could I explain that loneliness can make a man see affection where there's only manipulation? Eventually, I started talking to other expats. That's when I learned how common my story really was. There were dozens of men like me, divorced, widowed, or just lonely, each convinced their young girlfriend was different. Each one swore she was genuine, until she wasn't. These scams don't start with money. They start with loneliness. They study what you miss, affection, touch, purpose, and they feed it to you in doses, just enough to make you open your wallet and close your eyes. I live simply now. I moved to a smaller town, far from the noise and temptation. I walk by the sea in the mornings and remind myself that peace doesn't come from being loved, it comes from learning to live without needing to be. If you're a foreigner thinking about moving here, or anywhere, hoping to find love again, don't make the same mistake I did. Take your time. Don't confuse attention with affection. And above all, don't let loneliness make your decisions for you. Because the price of affection, when it isn't real, can cost more than money. It can take your hope, your pride, and your trust. And once those are gone, it takes a long, long time to get them back.